I'm Jack Crouch. I'm a communications strategist on the Green Line LRT Southeast project. Thank you for joining us this morning. I'll be your MC. We've had a lot of excitement and interest in this event. As you can see, we've got a full house. We're happy to have all of you here today. Before we get started, I'd like to share a land acknowledgement and then a safety moment. As the Green Line begins to shape the future of the city we now call Calgary, we acknowledge that this land, where the Bow and Elbow rivers meet, has long been a place of gathering, travel, and connection for Indigenous peoples. With gratitude and respect, we recognize that we build and construct the Green Line LRT on the ancestral home of the Treaty 7, including the Siksika, Piikani, Amska, Pipikani, and Kainai nations, Ithka Nakota, Wichestabe, including the Shiniki, Bearspaw, and Goodstoney nations, and the Tsuut'ina Nation, within Métis Nation Battle River Territory Districts 5 and 6. As the project advances, we remain committed to reconciliation through respectful engagement, strong relationships, and actions that honor the responsibility of building and stewarding this remarkable place. Now, the safety moment. As we prepare for one of the largest infrastructure investments in our city's history, we must remember that safety is not just a requirement, it's a responsibility, and it's our top priority for this project. You've all arrived here today safely, and while we aren't anticipating any need to evacuate, we need to ensure that you remain safe should you need to. If the fire alarm sounds or we are asked to evacuate from this room, please proceed out the main doors that you entered through, or these doors off to my left, and proceed outside to the muster point at the north end of the property. Now, please welcome to the stage Michael Thompson, General Manager of Infrastructure Services with the City of Calgary.
Well, good morning, everyone, and thank you for being here. It's quite the packed house to look out at and quite the sight to see. Great to see so many familiar faces and also to meet some new folks in the industry. I hope that you're able to make connections today to participate with the general contractors who've been shortlisted to bid for the upcoming Green Line work. We've already invested significantly into this project with almost $2 billion in committed contracts to purchase land due to engineering and design, construction of enabling works, and vehicles. In the coming year, we'll be significantly increasing our committed costs to this project. The Green Line will be a transformational project for the City of Calgary. When trains go into operation, our population will have surpassed 2 million people. I can't actually believe I just said that. When I used to do planning and design work, we were planning for 1.5 million people. We're past that now. We will be a city of more than 2 million when this train goes into operation and planning for a city of 3 million going forward. This is going to accommodate the unprecedented growth which our city has been going through, which has been the most aggressive growth we've ever gone through and unprecedented across the country. And everyone in this room knows that from all of the work that's going on. And while we're here today to talk about the Green Line, I ask that you also think about building relationships to work on any of our other over 1,000 projects that we have underway. Over the last 4 years, the City of Calgary has more than doubled the annual capital spend. In 2022, we spent $1.1 billion a year as a city. This year, our capital program is $2.6 billion. And next week, we'll introduce the new City Council to our 2026 capital program, which includes a recommended $3.6 billion in capital investment across the City of Calgary by the City of Calgary. We're busy building in all quadrants across the city and in all asset types. We need your expertise, your skills, and your relationships to deliver these projects. Again, I wanted to thank you for coming. I have to run and go and talk to my new bosses and explain this $3.6 billion capital program and also how we're doing on delivery right now. And to just pause and say, how are we doing? Everyone in the room is doing amazing on all of the projects that we're working on right now. We are so happy for the work that you've been doing, the quality, and as Jack said, the safety. We're very focused on making sure everyone goes home safely at the end of the day, And so I wanted to thank you for your focus on safety and your commitment to that. So as I run, I'm going to introduce Wendy Tynan, Project Director of Greenline, who will talk more about the Southeast project as well as the construction projects. Have a great morning and welcome, Wendy.
Well, good morning, everyone. It is certainly a pleasure to be here on behalf of the entire Greenline team, and great to have members of our leadership team here. And big thanks to the team for putting together this event. As Michael said, I have the distinct pleasure of getting to represent the project and share with you a little bit more about what we're actually building. So wanted to set the stage and share with you all that as we went through the trials and tribulations last year and into the spring to bring a deal forward, one of the big pieces, not only in approving our current funding and getting started on the project, was that all three orders of government approved the long-term vision, the full 46-kilometer vision from Seaton in the southeast all the way up north to 160th Avenue in the north. As we began to start construction, we're starting to build and we're going to continue to build. So it's a really, really great step forward to ensure that we are able to realize the full vision. So in March of this year, what was approved was phase 1 from Shepherd in the southeast into the downtown, and that critical connection into the red and blue lines. The project was split into two sections, and so the southeast project, which construction began this past June and what is the focus of why we're all here today. But there was a remaining 1.2 kilometers that still needed some more work to be done on it. And so that work is underway to develop the functional plan, building on the 5% concept plan that the province put forward last year, to do cost validation and to take the plan out to the public. And so public engagement on that project will begin in Q1 of 2026. And then that work will conclude by the end of next year with a decision shortly thereafter and construction continuing past that point. So that's where the downtown is at, but we're here today to talk about the work that is underway. So the Southeast project. So as the video clearly outlined, 16 kilometers of track, 10 stations, we crossed the river twice, 3 park and rides, 1 new beautiful maintenance and storage facility at Shepherd, and a fleet of new low-floor vehicles which are currently under production. So current construction, as I said, we broke ground at the end of June of this year following a very shiny shovel event with all orders of government to prove that this project was really funded and moving forward. Big thanks to those of you in the room who have jumped in and undertaking this work, but what you can really see is that there is work underway across the alignment and making sure that we're doing as much work as possible to be ready for the big contracts next year. So the big contracts next year. So we have about $1.5 billion in civil contracts that will be the bulk of the work, the civil work through to 2031 when we're ready to start running the trains. You've seen our shortlisted teams who went through the RFPQ process. Thank you all for being with us today, but thrilled to have Aecon, EllisDon, Flatiron Dragados, Graham, and PCL shortlisted on each of the 5 packages in various combinations, which we'll speak to in a bit. One of the things that I love as a Calgarian, though, is that these teams are local and really sets the stage for this being a project for Calgarians that will be built by Calgarians. And this is long-term work where teams can go home and have dinner with their families and that they can see the potential of being a part of this project and the pride in building Calgary's future. So though the RFPs for those packages will go out beginning in the new year in Q1 and be staggered throughout the year, Within the next month, we will be putting out straight to RFP an additional package for the elevated guideway at Barlow and 114th. So that initial work has been underway by Graham, but that will go out to RFP. And then the track systems and signal contracts will be awarded in 2026 as well. So let's chat about the packages. So Shepherd to Bow, this is almost 8 kilometers of the track. Very happy to share. Aecon, EllisDon, and Graham will be bidding on this scope of work. 6 at-grade stations, 7 utility buildings, at-grade crossings, the bus depots, park and ride sites, and all the good things that come along with it. For clarity, as we look at the packages and the timing of what will be coming out too, as I shared with some of you in the room over coffee this morning, as I mentioned, the new fleet of vehicles is under production. And once they arrive, each vehicle will need 1,000 kilometers of testing before it is ready for revenue service and approved by Calgary Transit. So we need to make sure we have enough track ready to go to start putting those trains on when they arrive. So there will be a bit of a focus from building south to north, as well as managing the fish and when they like to swim in our river and when you are all allowed to construct around them. Which has the aforementioned fish, the Bow River package. So Aecon, Flatiron Dragados, and PCL are shortlisted teams on this work. And so this is really the civil and structural work going from the Linwood Milliken Station right to 46th Avenue, including the 2 crossings and the big guideway. Highfield Station. This package has 4 shortlisted teams due to, truthfully, just where the scoring all ended up. So EllisDon, Flatiron Dragados, Graham, and PCL will be one of them. Will be our partner on this project. And so this is a civil and structural work right to the south limit of the Blackfoot Trail Bridge, which EllisDon is constructing for us. And so the 1 at-grade station, the 2 utility buildings, fitting out the CN Highfield Tunnel, which was previously completed, as well as the guideway and at-grade crossings. The 4th package are the 2 elevated stations. So at 26th Avenue, which is adjacent to the Crossroads Market, and then at the Ramsey Inglewood Station, I'm very pleased that EllisDon, Graham, and PCL were shortlisted for this scope of work. You can see the renderings as I've been flipping through them, but just to give you a little bit of an idea as to what that station area will start to look like. And then to connect the 2 elevated stations, well, we need the Ramsey Elevated Guideway. So this is the 5th package that will be coming out next year. All of this information is also on our website as well too, so it's a great reference as well afterwards. But this will be the connection between the 2 stations in that area. Now, you may be wondering, well, Wendy, you said that we're building through to the event center, and these packages stop at the Ramsey Inglewood Station. So as I mentioned, there's still work that's underway on the downtown segment and how that is all going to come together. We do need to have revenue service into that Event Center Grand Central Station in 2031, but we've just staged the work. So there will be one more remaining package to go from Ramsey Inglewood to the Event Center, but we are relying on additional information on the vertical alignment of the downtown segment, as well as some work from the province on the provincial rail master plan and how that's all going to work. So that piece of work will still be coming. So I want to chat a little bit about our Community Employment Benefits Initiative. At peak construction, we are going to need about 1,000 workers per day on this project. And with 21% of the workforce expected to retire by 2034, This is something that collectively as an industry we need to be aligned on and working towards. There's a bunch of information in the booklets that are on your tables about this, but we're really looking at ways that we can help support and be that connection into bringing forward a career in the trades, and also really looking at a number of different strategies to connect the opportunities with those who may be typically underrepresented on some of these projects. Which is why we've invited, and hopefully you've had an opportunity to meet some of these folks already this morning, but 7 great groups who are really at their core supporting this work. And so would encourage you all to take the time this morning to meet them, to make those connections. But thank you all very much for being here. Careers, Office to Advance Women Apprentices, Trade Winds to Success, the Educational Foundation, Women Building Futures, YOIC Trades Training, and our partners with the City of Calgary Employment. This is how we can grow that capacity and make sure that people really see the opportunities that are available not only on Greenline, as Michael spoke about the extensive capital plan that the City of Calgary has underway, as well as the myriad of other projects in our very growing city. But this will be a priority for us, and encourage you to take one of those booklets with you and make sure that you're up to speed on where our heads are at on this key scope of work. So, wanted to just share this as a close, some key takeaways for you. And as I spoke about, this really is an exciting time as a project for Calgarians, being built by Calgarians. But key things to know: Phase 1 has been approved and funded. We have $6.248 billion from all 3 orders of government. We will be having revenue service from Shepherd in the southeast into the Event Centre Grand Central Station in 2031. The decision on the downtown alignment will be in Q1 of 2027, with construction starting immediately after. And that then council will have a decision, their next decision to make about beginning the functional planning work and design, if we're going to go further south or further north. And we will all watch along as our new council battles that one out. But what a great problem to have. It's no longer a discussion about should we build Greenline, it's how do we keep building more of Greenline. And that's the advocacy that's happening now, is where do we look at the future funding to make sure that we are able to realize that vision. So thank you all very much for being with us today, and really looking forward to being partners over the next number of years and making sure that we deliver Calgary's best future through the Green Line. Thank you.
Thank you, Wendy. Now we'd like to introduce Jim Leonidas, Project Director, and Fred Antunes, Deputy Construction Director from Aecon Realis, our delivery partner.
My name is Jim Leonidas. I'm the Delivery Partner Project Director. I work for a company called Aecon Realis. In December of 2022, we were very fortunate. We were selected as the delivery partner, and we lead a consortium of companies, loosely referred to as C6, in the delivery of this great transformational project in Calgary. I've lived in Calgary with my family in the Calgary metropolitan area for the past 21 years, so I have enormous benefit as well with my family on this project. Just a few words about Aecon Realis and what we do. We're a global leader in light rail transit. I think many of you know that. Most notably, Canada Line in Vancouver, we delivered 20 years ago. Calgary West LRT, and most recently, Réseau Express de Montréal. Our major scope right now on this project is the construction management of the southeast portion of the Calgary Green Line. And I'm going to turn it over to my colleague, the construction director, who will lead that undertaking on behalf of the delivery partner.
Yeah, so just as Jim indicated, this is the team and the other companies that are involved in the delivery partner with us. And I guess I should also mention that one of the key people on the team is also our design partner, which is WSP. So fortunately, the Green Line team was able to keep WSP as the designer. They transitioned into the new delivery model, so that allowed the design to continue to progress as we move forward. So so that's kind of the team that we're looking at. Jim mentioned kind of what our global experience is, and I just wanted to highlight a few projects that we've been involved with in Western Canada and across Canada over the last number of years. As Jim mentioned, Calgary West LRT, extension to the Blue Line from downtown. So that was a project that Aecon Realis delivered. So we were the design build contractor on that project. Then we went on, the same team they basically went on and went and built the Millennium Line Evergreen Extension in Vancouver. They actually even took the same precast forms. They went with them to Vancouver to do that. So basically the key point I want to make out of this is that number one, we know how to deliver transit projects in Calgary, working with Calgary Transit. And number two, I think the other part is that we have an extensive experience in delivering the systems integration part of these projects. So, civil infrastructure is one part, and I know right now we're focusing on what does the civil infrastructure look like, and that's what everybody in the room here is doing. But there will come a time when the civil infrastructure is done, and now we got to put rail on the civil infrastructure. We got to install electrical systems, then somebody's got to get the trains running, and that's what we do. So that's the experience that I think we bring, along with our construction background, with that rail experience, is what we bring to help this project move forward. And I think the other project I put up was the East Harbour Transit Hub, and it has nothing to do with Toronto, but what it does is it shows a new way of delivering projects in Canada, which is more of a collaborative way of working. And I think listening to Michael Thompson talk and listening to Wendy, and working with the rest of the Green Line team, this is really the way that we want to work, is really treat the people in this room as partners and work together to solve problems and make sure we get these projects and make them successful. I was part of the East Harbour Transit Hub. I was on the Alliance leadership team there for 18 months. So some of the principles that we bring on that project, we want to embody in this project as we move forward. So that's why I put those projects up. What's our role? People say, well, what does a delivery partner do? And that's a very good question. So what we do is, a number of different things, and it evolves over time. So where we started out actually as the delivery partner was working to develop the technical performance requirements or the specifications with the city, and then making sure that WSP, the designer, met those requirements as they were developing that design. At the same time, we were supporting the city on cost, risk, and schedule development with their partner that they had at the time. When the project changed and there was a new way of delivering the project, we came in and started getting involved more on the program management. So that's kind of where I started getting involved more directly in about March this year, helping validate the procurement strategy that the City of Calgary Green Line team had already put together, and then started to work on the integrated schedule development. We've done numerous iterations on that. We've currently got a TLOS schedule that we're working on to help us set what are the different handover dates. So doing quite a bit of work and understanding how this project will get built over the next 6 years. And we've also been working with the Green Line team on actually developing what are the contracts that we're going to use, because there are going to be bespoke contracts for the packages that we're talking about. So they're going to be different than what you see normally from the City of Calgary. So we're doing some work on that. So that will carry us through 2025, early into 2026. But then really once you start getting work in the field, then that's when the work shifts and we become more of a construction manager. So our role there is we're not the builders, you're the builders. What we will do is we'll bring our experience as contractors to help with making sure that we're providing, we're working safely, we're protecting the environment, we're making sure we're building quality products, so we'll do some work on that, providing some monitoring and oversight on that. We'll continue to work with the city on cost and risk management. And then the other thing we're going to do is there's going to be a lot of contracts awarded, and somebody's got to knit all those together and find out if we're on schedule or not. And that is one of the primary roles that we will take, is making sure that as things happen on the job, we understand what's the end game so we can make sure these trains run in 2031. We'll also be doing contract compliance, progress payments, the typical contract administration that you would see. And also some of the technical advisor and project management role will carry on during 2026. By the time we get to 2029, the end of 2029 into 2030, really the civil infrastructure is primarily done, and then we're getting into systems installation. Some of the track will primarily be done, and we're really getting into the how do you integrate all these pieces together, build the safety case, make sure that the trains can run safely, and then doing the testing and commissioning, getting through to operational readiness, working with the City of Calgary as their transit operators get on the trains and start testing them. And you can see the little picture that I pulled there of the control center we have on Canada Line, where you do the simulator to test the trains and how the operators run the trains. So that will take place into 2031 so that we can help the city and the Green Line team get this project open in, I think the current schedule we're looking at is June 30th of 2031 is what we're targeting in our schedule. So that's kind of what we're trying to hit. So that's the delivery partner and what we're doing. So I look forward to working with you, and we'll be at the back in the corner if anybody has any questions. I look forward to talking to you later. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim and Fred. Now we're going to move on to presentations from the shortlisted companies. Because we are going in alphabetical order, I'd like to invite Aecon up to start us off.
Thank you, Jack. Aecon are proud to be here today to support the City of Calgary in their efforts to get the Green Line project under construction, and look forward to kind of working with the team and everybody in the room here to deliver this project. Aecon, some of you may not know, we're one of Canada's largest construction companies, $4.2 billion annual revenue, over 150 years old across Canada, 10,000 employees, and $10.8 billion in backlog. We have construction, concession segments. We also do civil works, urban transportations, which is rail projects, industrial, utilities, and nuclear projects right across Canada and in the US. Some of our civil capabilities and a lot of our experience in Calgary, working for the city, working with people. We are Calgarians at heart, and we're the people that we have working here. Right now, we're doing the Deerfoot Trail Improvements Project here for the Alberta Transportation. Bow River Bridge we completed a couple of years ago, as well as 14th Street, Highway 2 Airdrie, Stony Trail, Highway 2, and we do multiple projects for the City of Calgary around the area every year. So you've probably seen lots of our signs out there on the roads and projects. As well as LRT capabilities, we have from Scarborough Subway, GO Expansion, Surrey SkyTrain stations in Vancouver, the RAM job in Montreal, Eglinton Crosstown LRT, Finch West, Waterloo, extensive repertoire of LRT projects right across Canada, delivering these and putting the projects together, experienced contractor, and bringing that to this project for the city and for Calgary. Some of the opportunities that Wendy spoke about earlier on, Aecon are shortlisted on 3 of the projects. These are the 3 that we're shortlisted on, the Ramsey Elevated Guideway, Bow River, and Shepherd to Bow. This is a not exhaustive list of some of the packages that are in there. There is also going to be a supply chain in there, and depending how the breakdown of what comes out. We have the yellow line on the bottom, the Shepherd to Bow, we have Bow in the middle, the blue, and we have the red on the top, the Ramsey Elevated Guideway. So some of the packages you're going to see here, from hydro-racking, hauling, fencing, guardrails, pavement, signage, precast girders, vehicle barriers, reinforcing, concrete. There'll be earthworks, dewater contracts in there, noise walls, temporary engineering to go in there, concrete ready mix. On some of the Ramsey and Bow River is similar in that regard. It's a lot of structure heavy work. Piling works would also go as part of that work. And then the Shepherd to Bow is more of an at-grade type running, not as structure heavy, but it has all the station stops, bus loop, transit centres within that. So in those ones we'll have architectural packages from Division 4 through 14, mechanical, electrical, asphalt, drainage, utilities, earthworks and grading. As these packages we come out, we'll be advertising these through Building Connected, reaching out to supply and subtrade. Aecon are a safety first and safety always culture, so we look for any of our subtrades and suppliers to be ISN Network certified. That will be all in the packages when we start to issue those out when they come to market. So yeah, we look forward to looking at some of them. Also in the community employment benefits, we are working in the local community. We are reaching out to different community groups. And we have a long history of doing that right across Canada and right across Calgary as well. $1 million invested in charities, non-profit organizations, over $1 billion procurement through Indigenous economy over the last 5 years alone. That's all right across Canada, and 40 million plus in community employment benefits in different areas. Again, we work in the areas, we're here to make a long-lasting impression. We're here for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, depending on the projects, and we want to leave a lasting impression for those that come after us. And feel free to see us at the Aecon stand over there. We'll be over there with all our red shirts on. So in case you lose us.
Thank you, Darren. Next up, we have EllisDon.
I am part of the leadership team. I'm Brian Connolly. I'm EllisDon's Vice President of Western Civil. So I look after all of our civil projects in Western Canada. We'll jump in. So a lot of similarities here with the slides. You'll see it with Darren. But just a little bit about EllisDon, and it's not about us today. It's about everybody else in the room. But we are a company that's got 5,000 employees, 8 billion in revenue last year. I've been around for 74 years. What a lot of people don't know, we have worked across 5 continents, but primarily based in the Canadian market. We've 19 global offices, and we are in 12 market sectors, but most importantly in the civil and transit space, as we look through the next couple of slides. So what have we done in the transit space? And I think, Fred, you touched on it, like that, a lot of civil infrastructure, really, really important, but the overall integration into an LRT system and into an urban environment, fundamentally important. You know, I'll talk on the first one here, Edmonton Valley Line. As I drove here today, I got a little alarm went off at 5:45, and I was like, well, what the hell is that all about? And 2 years ago, I set an alarm as we took the first ride on the Valley Line LRT that our warranty period expired today. So it expired on the way in, and great moment, I can tell you that. But you know, very similar project, urban environment, 13 kilometres, so very similar to the work we're doing here. So we've done this work before, Stadium LRT development, Capital Line South expansion, early works, Calgary LRT station redevelopment, Oliver Bone, read the list. It's all in that LRT space, and we've done it before, so looking forward to doing it again. Locally, on the bigger civil work, I think you'll see us. You see our blue signs. We're around pretty much just about everywhere, but the big projects there, you know, for the City of Calgary, 4th Avenue flyover, 16th Ave over Barlow, 16th Ave University Drive, Crowchild over Glenmore, then the West Calgary Ring Road, the DB1 package, Deerfoot, Highway 1 interchange at Cochrane. Large, big civil infrastructure projects. We've got the team, they're all local. I think, Wendy, you went great lengths there to really push that. You know, it's a Calgary project for Calgarians, and you know, we've got that team locally, really looking forward to working on it. Our senior leadership team, so I introduced myself there. Sean de Koning is our area manager of Calgary and our SVP. Sean couldn't make it here today, but he's been a large part of what we've done over here over the last 20 odd years. I think everybody knows Chelsea. She's down there at the booth. She's got us to this stage. She's our Director of Pursuits and Pre-Con. And this is the most important slide. Not a lot on it. I sort of did a little bit of a poll of what are the 3 things you really should talk about. You know, and then the top one that comes up all the time is our subcontractor bill of rights. That's our commitment to you. It's there. It's on every job site. It's on the wall. That is, you know, that's our commitment to all of our subcontractors that work on our job. It's documented. It's there. Make sure you read it. Make sure that we're complying to it, and that's our commitment. You know, I'll jump to the bottom one there, and it's that one team approach. You know, we're nothing without our sub-trade partners and our suppliers, and we're very open about that, very humble about what we can do. We can't do it without your team, and we like to appreciate everyone that does it. I think a lot of talk about our golf tournament that we do every year, and what we've done for the local community and giving back in terms of not just dollars, but just our overall presence has been pretty good. And I always loved it when I talk about the rodeo, and you know, I was going to use the line, it's not our first rodeo, but I didn't, so I can't go back to that slide. But again, we get the opportunity to bring everyone out to that rodeo and just again enjoy Calgary for Calgarians. Just in terms of the procurement, Wendy did a great job. You went through all of the projects that everybody is shortlisted on, and again, the leaflets on your table will tell you that. We're Shepherd to Bow, we're Highfield elevated stations. But the big one then, I talked about it, like they're technically challenging projects, and they require an incredible level of safety, and we pre-qualify everybody through Compass, and that's for you, and it's not really for us. That's to ensure that, you know, anybody that is going to work on these projects, they're financially stable and that they've got the opportunity to meet the threshold of safety required, and I think that's just a given. It's if we can't meet those thresholds, it's probably the wrong project for you. And last, as Uncle Sam would say, we want you. Well, as Uncle Brian will say, we certainly want you and we need you. And we've got a booth down there, and I'd encourage everybody to come down and meet with that team. A little snapshot of some of the projects that's there. The Valley Line talked on it again, but you know, we had over 350 subcontractors on that project, 12 million people hours in total, of which just under 8 million was done by our sub-trade community. So, you know, a huge thank you. I've said it before, I'll say it again, you know, that we're nothing without you. So please come along. We've got some business cards down there and a very specific Green Line procurement email address. So get your details in. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Next up, we have Flatiron Dragados.
Right, good morning, everybody. Given the theme of the previous 2 speakers, my Irish accent is terrible, so I'm not going to try that. But my mum and dad are Irish, and I know his mum and dad are Irish, so it's nice to see the Irish Mafia is alive and well in Calgary. I'd just like to take a quick opportunity to say thank you to the city for inviting us here today. This is very helpful for us and hopefully for everybody in the room. And also like to congratulate the city's program management team, Wendy's team, who successfully navigated a very difficult process to deliver a really exciting, interesting and challenging portfolio of work for everybody in the room. So I'd say well done to Wendy and the city's team. Okay, so I'm going to go introduction of who we are, who our company is, a quick selection of previous projects if you don't know us in the room, what we've been pre-qualified for, and what kind of engagement we'd like to have with the substance suppliers. So my name is Neil Lynch, and I'm the Vice President for Flatiron Dragados, joined here by Joe Gallagher. He's our Procurement Director for the region. You'll also see at the booth, you'll see Tara Alders, who's our District Schedule Manager, and Tyson Thieger, who's our Project Engineer. So a little bit, if you don't know us already, Flatiron Dragados, one way or another, has been in Canada for 27 years. Locally in Western Canada, the first project was Kicking Horse Phase 2. So if you go over the Park Bridge just outside of Golden, that was Flatiron's first job in Western Canada. So combined around, together across North America, we've got around $7 billion US of annual revenue and about $16 billion US backlog. We've got about 7,000 employees, about 10% of that is in Canada, so about 700 people in Canada at any one time. We've got head offices in Calgary, Toronto, Vancouver, Montreal, so well represented across. At any one time, there's more or less 100 projects across various markets. Lots of accreditation, the accreditations there for safety, environmental, and business management. We've got expertise across airports, bridges, dams, highways, LRT, of course, underground and water. And we've got about $10 billion worth of collaborative delivery experience. And at the moment, about 50 projects, or over 50 projects delivered across Canada. So from a geographical point of view, that's a selection. I'm not going to go through every one, save everybody in the room the time. But that's a selection of the work that we've done coast to coast. So we've covered pretty much every aspect of civil infrastructure across Canada. And the red ones highlighted there are just the LRT projects that we've delivered over the last 15, 20 years. So what are our values? So we value the following. It's safety, excellence, integrity, accountability, and teamwork. If that generally lines up with you, then you line up with us, and we'd like you to help us deliver our projects. So some of the work that you've seen locally, just in Alberta here, we've got the Hen Days, Northwest and Northeast. In Edmonton, here in Calgary, Northeast Stony Trail, which is started in 2008. Lots of awards for all of those, so project teams are all very proud of the work that they've done here. More recently, Glenbow Dam improvements for the City of Calgary, and also Bow River Bridge, where we were co-lead with our colleagues at Aecon in delivering a very complex segmental job. And just over the last, since 2008, Flatiron Dragados has delivered over 100 bridges just in Alberta. So very significant portfolio of work, more than 200 retaining walls. So we'd like to bring that expertise to bear with you. So what have we pre-qualified for? We have probably pre-qualified for Highfield, Ramsey Elevated, and Bow River. So if your scope of work or specialities lines up with that, please get in touch. What are we looking for? Well, really, we're looking for similar shared values from our suppliers and subcontractors, what we described on the previous slide. We'd like to see a demonstrated track record of safety and a commitment to safety. We'd like to see a demonstrated record of quality of work and pride in that work, which I'm sure you've all got. And also expertise with the City of Calgary specifications. For connection for future work, I'm going to introduce Joe, who's our Procurement Director.
So, Neil pretty much said it all. It's nice to meet you all. Some familiar faces here. It's nice to reconnect with the family. But Neil kind of said it. If you feel you guys have alignment with our kind of values and what we're looking for in going forward with this project, hopefully successfully, we're over at the booth at the back here. My name's Joe Gallagher. I'm the procurement lead for the whole of Canada for Flatiron Dragados. So please come and make a connection, and we'll move from there. But thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. Next up, we have Graham.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Bryce Terry. I'm with Graham Construction. First of all, I'd like to thank the City of Calgary for inviting us out and setting this up. What a great way to bring the local industry all in one room together. It seems like maybe the construction sites today might have a little bit lower production, but it's probably worth it. I'd like to echo what Brian said about safety. I think, we could finish this project ahead of schedule. We can finish it under budget, but if somebody doesn't go home at night, it's not going to be a successful project. It's definitely the top of mind for everyone in this room, and I think he said it really well, and we echo that. A little bit about Graham Construction. We're celebrating our 100th year next year. We have our head office is in Calgary. And I'd like to highlight a little bit on, so we did about $5 billion last year, and about 30% of that was from small and medium-sized businesses. And so I think that fits the bill for a lot of the folks that are in this room. We rely on you guys a lot to execute our projects and be successful. And we're very happy to be in this room and going through this process on the Green Line project together. The shortlisted projects that we're on are the elevated stations, Shepherd to Bow, Highfield, and Ramsey Elevated Guideway. I didn't put any slides together on our experience, but I can cherry pick a little bit from some of the jobs that have come up already. I think Fred put up a couple that we were involved in on the West LRT and Evergreen. We did some work on the North LRT in Edmonton, and we've done tons of work in and around the city of Calgary, including the West Calgary Ring Road, the Bears Paw feeder main emergency repairs, which we completed last year. Similar to the other folks, we have tons of subcontract and supply opportunities, and this isn't an exhaustive list, but please come around to our booth. We have a QR code for folks to fill out and put their contact information in, so we can get a database together. I'd like to just really quickly touch on kind of what our process is. Similar to EllisDon, we have a pre-qualification process, which includes a financial review. It also includes a safety and quality review as well. The process that we're going to go through is we'll get the RFP, we'll put together some packages. It will take a bit of time. We'll send them out to the market. We'll obviously request responses back, give ourselves a little bit of time to go back and forth with any clarifications, and then we'll submit our pricing into the city for each of the projects. And I'd just like to touch a little bit on the Community Employment Benefits Plan. It's awesome to see that the trade partners are here, and we've actually collaborated and worked with a few of them, so that it's wonderful to see. There are going to be targets that are set for specific underrepresented groups. We have quite a bit of experience working with local organizations and these groups. And we're committed to not only help our subcontractors kind of navigate what this means for their works and how it's going to happen, but for our works as well to meet the requirements. So thank you. Appreciate the opportunity. Our booth is set up over there. Please come by and say hi to us.
Thanks, Bryce. Last but not least, we have PCL.
All right, this darn alphabetical order puts us last all the time. Good morning. My name is Jordan Kluche. I'm the Vice President and District Manager for PCL in Calgary in Southern Alberta. And I'm joined by Keith Bowers. He's our Manager of Civil Operations here in Calgary and Southern Alberta. There we go. All right, just a little bit about PCL. PCL has been around since 1906. We are a 100% employee-owned organization, and are proud to say our home office is here in the province of Alberta. We've got over 5,200 employees spread across 30 offices. Last year, our global volume was 11.3 billion, with over 1,000 projects underway. And just to note on safety as well, we pride ourselves on being a safety-first culture as well, as many of you do. And last year, we were pleased to receive the Canadian Construction Association Award for safest contractor in Canada, spread across 47 million worker hours without a lost time incident. So it was a huge accomplishment, and that goes out to all our sub-trade partners out there as well. So thank you for all you do. Locally, PCL has been in Calgary for 78 years. We've got 247 salaried employees with 320 craft currently. And our average volumes in the city here of Calgary are roughly 600 million across the last few years, and very excited to be involved with the future LRT work. And Keith is going to give us a few more details on that.
Thanks, Jordan. So as we've talked about and everyone's heard about these packages already, there's 3 that we pre-qualified for. So elevated stations, Highfield, and the Bow River packages. So really excited to be part of all 3 of these packages and what that's going to bring to the city. As far as hiring opportunities, similar to whatever others have already spoken to, we've kind of broken it down into 3 buckets. So First bucket, our own Calgary workforce through PCL Builders and works that we self-perform. So there's a lot of trade, carpenters, laborers, other tradesmen that we're looking for part of our team. So there's the Calgary workforce. There's temporary services and support work. So not direct trade scopes, but everything to do with temporary works and construction progress. Lots of opportunities for suppliers and other local companies. And then on the trade and supplier direct works, everyone's already touched on this, but lots of civil direct scopes, plus lots of other support trades. There's going to be building trades, lots of things with the station. So lots of opportunities for the city and local companies. Community employment. So again, we just wanted to emphasize how committed we are to the social procurement initiative that the city's doing. We're a strong believer in it, as everybody is in the room. We really want to focus on underrepresented groups, and the fact that we have all these not-for-profit groups here today to partner with just shows how committed the city is. So we're a big part of that initiative. We also want to really promote training and the apprenticeship programs and how important it's going to be to grow people in the trades. We're on board with that 100%, and everything the city's doing to promote social procurement, all of us here in the room are large supporters of. So happy to see everybody here as a group, and together we're just going to build that more diverse workforce, and this is going to be such a great project for the city. We're all excited to be here, so we're gonna rock it as a group for sure. As everybody else has already said, I know we're repeating ourselves, but please come say hi to us. We got a bunch of people at our booth. We got a few people from operations. If you got questions about how we do project management and work on site, we've got our chief estimator here, Eric. We've got a couple of people representing our builders workforce. And we've also got marketing comms people. So please come by and say hi to Jordan and I. We've got a QR code as well to get information from trades. And just like all the other proponents here, we're pumped to be part of this. We're going to rock this project and really exciting for the city. So thank you. I'll let Jordan finish off.
Awesome. Yeah, just one last note that I forgot to mention. A lot of people know PCL about the large, major infrastructure projects that we do. We also have a special projects group last year that was awarded $175 million worth of work across 47 different projects valued under $10 million. And so we really are welcome to any and all. We do have a pre-qualification process as well, as Keith mentioned, through Compass that many of us use. But we're happy to meet anyone who's willing to talk to us today. So thank you very much.
Thanks, guys. That concludes the presentations this morning. So as everybody said, we invite you to mill about the room, say hi to everybody, and get to know some of our partners here. We have the shortlisted companies, the nonprofit groups that Wendy spoke about, the Calgary Construction Association in the back there with the City Calgary Supply Team, and then our delivery partner, Aecon Realis. The Green Line is Calgary's project, and its success belongs to all of us. Thank you very much.